Hey you guys, it's Rachel here with Senza Tempo Cane Corso. We got a little video that I wanted to make today that unfortunately really kind of broke my heart this morning. So I just wanted to do a video on something to kind of, I guess, try my best to educate people and kind of clear up some misinformation that's out there. So there's basically what happened this morning is I had sold this female, and then the owner basically let me know that they felt that they didn't want to get a puppy this old. They didn't realize that she was that old, and which is my fault. I had actually had the wrong date of birth listed. It was just my bad. I was doing a bunch of updating to my website and other stuff, like all my business listings, stuff like that, and it was just a typo and I made a mistake. And so I refunded the lady because it was my mistake, you know what I mean? But it really broke my heart because ultimately she only did it because the puppy was a couple months older. I think 2, maybe 1, maybe 2. I forget what my typo was, but it was literally at the very most 2 months. And there were lots of pictures of the puppy. Like there was no questioning that this is not an 8-week-old puppy. You know what I mean? And basically the owner decided that she was just too old. And it broke my heart because the reality of the situation is that there's not much of a difference between a puppy that's this age versus, and I couldn't even tell you, I want to say these guys are close to 5 months old, maybe between 4 and 5 months old. It's been a crazy time because of these guys, like, having them all. It's just been, it was a lot. There was a lot of, I got blessed with really big litters and it just about drove me crazy. But anyway, these are the last ones. I have these 2 females and then 2 of their sisters that I didn't crop. And then I think I have Fedor's brother, that's available as well. And anyway, what really bugged me about it is that this idea that when a puppy gets older, it's like less value. There's like, you can't bring it in your home. Like, I don't know why people believe that stuff or whatever, because truth be told, there's been a lot of recent information about the fact that 12-week-old puppies are actually, it's what I will tell you is this, okay? The difference between these puppies and 8-week-old puppies, okay? Number one, these puppies are fully 100% vaccinated. I've already done all 4 puppy vaccinations. You will have to get rabies, but we don't do that because they register them in your name where you are. So there's really no point in me doing that because then there'd be paperwork as far as transfer of ownership, blah, 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 and it's unnecessary. But all puppy vaccinations, good to go. Wormed completely. You can tell their personalities now. A lot of times we try to tell how a puppy is going to be at 8 weeks old, but the reality is there's only so much we can tell, and they oftentimes change, not to mention that if you kind of let them get away with too much in that young age, you can really turn them into a monster. So, in my experience, once they're a little bit older, you're going to know what their personalities are. When you see it, that's who they are. You know what I mean? These are not big enough to hurt anybody, to maul. They're not going to hurt your dogs. These are very much puppies. Okay. This is even the age. You can't even import a dog into the US any younger than this. You guys know every dog I've ever imported into the States, I got at this size, at the youngest, mind you, at the youngest. So it really hurt my heart because I get that a lot. Now, mind you, not everybody feels that way. I've been able to talk to some people and they're more rational. And so they're able to kind of, when I talk to them and I'm like, look, these puppies can hold their bladder. That alone, you do not have to wake up in the middle of the night to let these guys out to go to the bathroom. Okay. For me, that alone is like that. Heck yeah, absolutely. I even have told anybody that's purchased one of these puppies that I will crate train them and I will leash train them. Like, I've got people that are coming this weekend to pick up puppies. I've sold, I think, 3 of them this month of this size. And I told each and every one of them that I was going to leash train them and crate train them. And I've done that. I already had one lady come get hers and she came picked her up. I already had her on the leash. It's been fantastic for her. And also you don't have to wait to take them out. So and that was one of the things she had said that I really disagreed with, was she was like, well, we missed out on this, like this socialization time. And the reality is that you cannot socialize an unvaccinated puppy. And a puppy is unvaccinated until they've had all 4 of their puppy vaccinations, and they can only get them 3 weeks apart. So what are you looking at? You're looking at 6 weeks. You're looking at 9 weeks. You're looking at 12 weeks. 12, 13, 14, 15 weeks, right? So the reality is that these guys are, I think, 2, maybe 3 weeks older than that. So there's not a whole lot of socialization that has been missed out on at all. Not to mention that they're around each other, so they're really good at recognizing canine body language, how to communicate with one another. And so these are not dogs that are going to be freaking out if you have them around other dogs, or if you're the kind of person that likes to frequent the dog park. So there's so much value in these dogs, you know what I mean? Less vet bills because they need less vaccinations. You don't have to worry about them having worms. You don't have to, and I don't know about you guys, but I know for me, whenever I get a puppy and I'm like, all right, you know, it's like you can't breathe a sigh of relief until they've had all their puppy vaccines. And if you've never seen parvo before, I've got videos on it. It's awful. And so for me, I have like this PTSD from it. So I never fully relax until all of my puppies are fully vaccinated, because that's the only time that they're safe. And you don't have to worry about that with these guys. It's already done. Like, it's just right out of the bag. You get to go have fun. None of the downsides, all of the good sides. But for some reason, you know what I mean? Some people don't want them, and they just want this baby experience. And what I can say is that while I can appreciate that, and it's America and you can do what you want, what I can say is that you could very well be cheating yourself, because what I will tell you is that a lot of breeders don't work with European lines here, or they may do half and half. They do a lot of American lines. Like all I can tell you is that Reese and I were looking at a lot of our competitors and stuff, and I'm just going to tell you, I was not worried. You know what I mean? It was not much competition. I'm not saying that there aren't other good breeders out there, because there are. We're not like the best in the country, although, you know, I'd like to say that at least some of our dogs are contenders in that realm. But what I will say is that we are high quality, and these are high quality pups. Some are cheaper. Like I said, the 2 other females I didn't bring out here, you know, they're very much pet quality. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say, but these 2 females are actually really nice. And anyway, it's just, for me, it's just a silly thing, and it really bugs me. And I wish that people, I guess, didn't have those kinds of those preferences, because ultimately it's harmful. It's like, because you want this thing that you think is more valuable that really isn't. It's like this trivial thing, but it's like one positive, which is early bonding, right? Which doesn't really have any effect, because this is my thing, is you would have to show me that a puppy that you get older bonded less than the one that you got when they were very young. Now, I will give you this. There is a difference when you have a litter and you're with that baby from the moment that it's born. That's a little bit different, but that's not what you got. You know what I'm saying? Like, literally, like the idea that somehow someone or something is going to love you less because they knew you a month later or a month less. You know what I'm saying? It's just a weird deal. And you hear all the time from people who rescue dogs that, like, they're the most amazing, and they know that they were rescued and they appreciate it. And it's like, you know what I mean? But those are much older dogs. So a lot of the things, the stigmas and stuff that we have about dogs don't make any sense, and many of them contradict each other. And what I will tell you is harmful about it is, like me, for example, I have the space to hold on to these puppies, okay? But there's a lot of people, a lot of amateur breeders out there, a lot of unethical breeders out there that when they get leftover puppies and stuff, that's how they end up in shelters. When you hear about somebody dropping off purebred puppies at the shelter, older puppies, most of the time it's because of that. It's because they can't place them out. They're eating them out of house and home. They freak out about it, and they just get rid of them, because some of these dogs, you just can't, you know what I mean? Like, you just can't give them away. I remember Reese had a litter one time, and people have a weird thing about Brindle a lot of the time. And she still has her. She's got this one female out of a litter, and I want to, she's over a year old, and she's been trying to place out that dog forever, and just nobody wanted her. You know what I mean? Just nobody wanted her. And she still has the dog. You know what I mean? She just has this dog on her property that nobody's ever bought. And that's the right thing to do. You know what I mean? That's what I would do. Like I'm, you know, you just hold out and you wait and you do the right thing. But a lot of people don't. And it's really not, there's no reason for it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna be honest with you. I take it kind of personal because many of you know that I was raised in foster care, and most foster kids are technically, all of them are like technically up for adoption, right? They try to get you back with your family, and then if that doesn't work, then they try to find you a home. But you'll go into these quote unquote foster homes until, just like a dog, right? Like you put a dog in a foster home, it's supposed to be temporary, okay? But you're allowed to stay there as long as you need to. It's not like an emergency shelter, right? They're very similar situations. And the same thing happens with kids, you know what I mean? Like, people, if it's not a baby, if it's not young enough, cute enough, they don't want it. And so you just end up with all these kids that nobody wants. And then they grow up like resenting people, like hating people, because they see all these families and they know that nobody wants them. And they get, I know I did. I got jealous of everybody else with their families, and I didn't have a family. And every Christmas you see all these families together, and I didn't have family. Nobody wanted me. And it's hard not to take that personal, because ultimately what you're saying is that you don't matter. You have no value. You know what I mean? I don't want you. You have no value. You can offer nothing to me, so I don't want you. And for me, that's just really, really sad. And so we hold on to them. We're not gonna abandon them. We're not gonna get rid of them. We're not gonna, euthanize them like I'm sure some people do. But I just want to put that out there, that it's think about it. You know what I mean? I understand wanting that cute, small, cuddly puppy, but simultaneously, I don't know if y'all have noticed, but there are a lot of breeders that have not been able to place out some puppies. The economy's not great right now, and the demand is still there, but it's not high enough to support like everybody, basically. And so there's a lot of people with older puppies available. Nobody wants them. And it's a good time, in my opinion, to get a really good deal on a very nice dog, if you're willing to deal with the fact that they're a little bit older. And if you take a chance on them, I promise you that you probably are going to have a much better experience than what you thought you were ever going to have. And you may get to the point where you wish that you could get older puppies, because you don't want to deal with all the young puppy stuff. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, for me personally, the worst part about it, I hate having to wake up in the middle of the night. I'm not going to lie. My sleep, I work so hard. My sleep is like valuable to me, and I don't want to have to wake up and let a puppy out. And so for me, that's huge. These puppies can hold their bladders longer. If you have a full-time job and you can't come home for 8 hours, you don't need an 8-week-old puppy, because it's very hard to potty train them. And every morning when you wake up, and if you don't let them out, you're going to be cleaning out a kennel. And every time you get back from work, you're going to be cleaning out a kennel and giving a puppy a bath. You don't have to do that with these guys. So I just don't get it. Like, the idea that somehow older puppies have no value is simply not true. It is a case-by-case basis. As long as the puppies are kept in a good environment, they're allowed to socialize, they're clean, they're being vaccinated and taken care of, it's absolutely the deal of a lifetime, because these puppies are $1,000 less than what I would normally charge for my puppies. And as you can see, they have fantastic movement. They have fantastic structure. I mean, they're absolutely phenomenal dogs. And so, I don't know. I'm just putting that out there. As of this point, I think I'm going back, and I'm just going to keep that female. I'm going to just take that as a sign that I was meant to keep her. So I am going to keep the one that the lady wanted the refund on today. But I do still have 3 females and 1 male. And this isn't just for me. Like, this is really and truthfully, this is for everybody. This is for eternity. You know what I mean? Like, if don't freak out about a puppy that's a little bit older. Go on. Look at that structure. You're fantastic, my boy. Fantastic. Don't don't go and see them. That's all I can say. Go and see them. Let the if the breeder will let you come and see them, or if they'll do some video or something showing that they're not skittish, that they that they have good personalities and whatnot. If they can show you the shot record stickers showing that they've been doing vaccinations, there's no reason. You're totally missing out on what could be the easiest puppy experience you've ever had. I mean, I know that that's what it has been for me. I love getting imports in. It's so easy to train them. I can immediately take them out. I don't have to do that thing where I want to take them out, but I can't. So I have to sit there and wait for months until I can finally take them out. It's just, and then on an off topic, a lot of people were asking me where Preacher was. Well, here he is. And I put him back out with the puppies. Speaking of easier and whatnot, blah, blah, blah. I've had Ibiza who's about to have puppies, and I just really haven't had the time to keep my eyes on him, and I don't want him getting into trouble. And also, he's a very dominant dog, and I really don't want him to be intolerable or so dominant that it becomes like a problem around my house. So I put him out there with them. I put him out there to humble him. You know what I'm saying? Get him out there with his own people and kind of, show him that, you need to humble yourself a little bit. You need to sit down. You need to chill out. You need to be a dog. I love him. And, and I want him to know that I love him, but simultaneously, I don't want him to be spoiled and irrational. And with him being as dominant as he is, and with him knowing that he's special and having that bond with me, it was a possibility, and I'm always going to do the best thing for my dogs, and for him, he needed to be humbled. So that's exactly where he's been. And it's very common for me, like, as you guys have seen, I mean, you won't see me having like super young puppies in my house and stuff anymore. I work too hard. I'm too busy. I don't have the ability to keep eyes on them. So I have them out. I have a really nice area, very clean, 100% easy to sanitize, like the best possible situation for my puppies. I'm very happy. That's one of the things that I did with the money that I've gotten from Patreon and stuff like that, is I built this super nice deck with composite flooring for my dogs and rubber mats and all this. It's very nice. And I'll be doing the adults very soon. But I did like a 20 by 20 deck. It's very nice. And, it's just, I don't know. It's just a thing. He's, he gets out there and he gets humbled, and then I come in and I spend time with him when I can. But ultimately, he needed it. You know what I mean? He needed to be humbled a little bit. He was like a spoiled child that just thinks he can pick on and bully everybody and just get away with it. And he was going to get his butt handed to him eventually, because they will only tolerate that for so long until you get, you know what I mean? Like, you can't be a bully and expect for it to work out. And he's not smart enough to back down. So it would have been awful. You're a good boy. You're a good boy, Preacher. Yes, you are. You're a sweet man. He's way too smart for his own good. Absolutely way too smart. Look at that. See, she tried to come over, and he's like, nah. He's like, that's my owner. You don't come to her for love. Look at that. Disciplined her for coming over. And you're your baby girl. Look at her. Very submissive and respectful. Very. One lady was like so terrified that the puppy was going to come and like maul her veteran dog. I was like, no, these puppies are not that big. You know what I mean? They're not that big. They're not like that. They're still very much babies. These are very much babies. So anyway.
Betty.
Yeah.
You got a Betty on you.
Yeah, I really like her.
She's just a baby.
That's the one I'm gonna keep back. You sweetie. Yeah. So anyway, I hope you guys are having a good day. That little PSA, I don't know. Like I said, I it's not just because I've got puppies available. It's always been a thing. You know what I mean? It's forever since I've been a breeder. There's always been, whether it's a puppy you get back or, like somebody, cancels at the last minute, and then you've just got this puppy you're trying to find a home for. Because I'll have a thing where I've had people, you guys know I reserve my litters in advance is the best way to do it, so you don't end up. That's why we do these reservations in advance of the litter being born, because we don't want to have leftover puppies because of the way that people react to leftover puppies. And I've had situations where people that were on first pick and then they ghost me, they don't say anything, they disappear. And then by the time that I finally get a hold of them, they're like, oh, you know, funds aren't there, blah, blah, blah. So then I'm stuck trying to find a home for a puppy at the very last minute. And it doesn't matter if I tell people that it was the absolute biggest, best puppy. This was first pick, everything. I show them screenshots. It literally doesn't matter. They won't believe you. They automatically assume that the puppy is just the runt. So... like I've been telling people about the dog that I have, Fedor, Fedor's brother. Fedor is not the bigger of the two, and everybody loves Fedor. I literally had people contacting me over Fedor, and it's like, well, you know, I have his brother. His brother is much bigger than him, but you know, it's just weird, man. So I don't know, but I just wanted to talk about that because it's a thing, and it just, to me, it kind of got me today. I haven't really had a hard time selling my puppies when they're older. This was the first time that I've ever had somebody back out of one of my older puppies. Like anytime I have somebody ask about it, I just tell them what I told you guys about how they're easier to buy, like all the truth, the reality about it. And then they're like, oh, I never thought about it that way. And then, you know, they go along with the puppy. But this time I you know, had to refund. And so it's just, I don't know. It's just a thing where it's just, I don't know. It's a harmful, very harmful myth. It's harmful with dogs. It's harmful with children. We should be more compassionate is what I will tell you. We should be more compassionate when it comes to adoption, whether it be adopting a dog, whether it be adopting a child. We should really try to be more compassionate. You know, go and try to see if you have a bond. That's it. You know what I mean? Like you never know. You might go to the breeder's house and just one dog and you just clicks. You know what I mean? Like Preacher and I have a lot of dogs, but Preacher and I just click, and he's not even from my kennel. You know what I'm saying? And you never know. And I'm telling you this, Preacher and I would have clicked no matter how old I got him. You know what I mean? It's just the connection that we have, and that's not, doesn't matter when I would have gotten him. Right, Preacher. Yeah, look at him, look at me, look at me. How many times have you guys seen a dog watch me and make eye contact like that? Only Preacher. Only my OG Preacher, dude. It's crazy. It's crazy. I love you so muchos. So I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna let y'all go. I'm done complaining. So take it as you will. I know there's gonna be people in the comment section telling me how I'm wrong, and that's fine. But and I want to very clearly say it's a free country. Do what you want. You know what I mean? I'm not advocating that nobody should be able to turn up their nose at a older puppy. I'm just trying to kind of do my best to educate about the reality of it and try to clear up any of the misinformation, as well as letting you know all the benefits. So anyway, if you think that these puppies are lovable and that they deserve love and they deserve homes, you know, I want you to write, have compassion in the comment section. So, okay. Bye. Say bye.